Hello, welcome to today's video from the bug out. I'm out in beautiful mid Wales in the sunshine. Yes, it does happen, it does. The sun does shine in Wales. So today's video is about my 5 top tips for navigating without a compass. And before we get started, guys, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be great. It really helps the channel. I really appreciate it, and thanks for taking time to watch my videos. I know they're not the best in the world, but something I enjoy. Don't enjoy the editing, but here we are. It's all a bit of fun. Yeah, so there we are. Today's video, just my 5 tips of navigating out to the countryside with a map, but without a compass. Quite easy to do. Now, these tips will cover open moorland, in forestry, the lowlands, anywhere really, and especially if the weather takes a turn, these top tips will help you find your way. Let's get to it. Number 5, orientating a map to ground. That's quite easy to do without a compass. So all you need is 2 to 3 features what you can see on the ground and then relate them to the map. So the map itself, made up of grid lines, the blue lines on the map. So the vertical lines on the map, these are your easterns, they run from east to west, and then the horizontal lines on your map are the northerns. They go north to south, south to north, whatever you want. So your easterns are pointing north and south. Now the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. So in the northern hemisphere, at midday, the sun is due south, more or less. Now if you've got an old-fashioned watch, you point your hour hand to the sun, if you can see it. Now halfway between that hour hand and 12 o'clock midday on the watch is south. Okay, that's just for the northern hemisphere. But most of the time people who've got smartphones or gadgets will tell you which way is north and south. So once you figure that out, you can get your map somewhere near. Now, using features on the ground, all you got to do is line up your map. Now on this one I can see I've got the lake just down there to the side of me. So apart from the lake, what else have I got? So what I can see on here is a hill in the distance with a spot height. So that must be that one there, because it's in relative with the lake. And just to double check, I've got this hill up here with a spot height, which I know is that one. So if I line all 3 up, I know I've got my map orientated to the ground. Now the features you pick out on the ground could be anything. It could be anything man-made or natural. So man-made could be, like say, a road. It could be a mast on the hillside. Natural features could be anything: rivers, lakes, forests, mountaintops. So anything you can physically see which stands out and you can relate to on the map. So once you're happy, you've lined up 2 or 3 features, what you can physically see on the ground to what you can see on the map. And you know your map is pointing roughly in the right direction, then you can plan your route to your next location. Easy as that. Let's go. Right, so there we are. I've got you orientated your map. Now my number 4 top tip is route planning. Now when I was doing a lot of orienteering, there was if you get into a checkpoint, there was many different routes on how to get to a checkpoint. So what we used was a traffic light system: red, amber and green. So they represent 3 different route types you can take. So red would be the hardest route. Obviously amber, a bit easier, green, easiest route. Now green, the easiest route, may not be the shortest route, but it's all about the conditions of the ground you're on. So the red might be the shortest route, but it might be steep, the ground might be boggy, it might be full of babies' heads, who knows what you're travelling over. You might be tired, it might be late in the day, the weather might be rubbish, could be raining, like I say, it could be low visibility. So choosing the best route is my number 4 top tip, and very important when you're out in the hills or in the countryside. So yeah, number 4, route planning. Now a bit of a bonus tip. Once you've orientated your map to ground and you planned your route, is when walking with a map, the last thing you want to do is keep getting your map out, looking for where you are, and traffic flowing everywhere and whatnot. You just walk with the map, put your thumb on either where you're going or where you just set off from. So you know then, when you come to stop or look at the map, your thumb is roughly on where you are, hopefully. Right, let's go. That was number 4. So my tip number 3 is handrailing. So a handrail, much the same as a handrail going up the stairs, which aids you. In this case, is a linear feature. So a linear feature could be anything from fence line, a river or a stream, road, even the edge of a forestry. Any linear feature where you could use as a handrail, like walk alongside to get to your destination. So something like this you'd use if there's very low visibility, you couldn't see very far in front of you, so you'd use this as an aid to, like say, follow to where you want to go. So for this example, we're on this path and we want to get to that trig point. Now there's no footpath going to this trig point. We're on open moorland, and let's just say the visibility is not very good, so we can't see where we're going. And we're not using a compass to take a bearing. So just up this path, we come across a brook, which we can use as a linear feature. We get to where the brook intersects the path, and then we follow the brook all the way up to the top of the hill, and then near the trig point. So, like I say, it's an aid, just like a handrail going up the stairs, to get to the destination. Let's give it a go. Now, believe it or not, the sun is out today, so this is why I'm wearing this loose-fitting, well, it should be loose-fitting except for the guts, a loose-fitting lightweight shirt, sun hat, glasses, got plenty of water. So yeah, even though we're in wet and windy Wales, sun does come out, and when the weather's hot, make sure you dress for it and take precautions, because heat stroke, sunstroke, yeah, they do happen, and it's not pretty. Right, let's push on. Right, so there we have it, guys. I found the brook, which I'm going to use as my linear feature. Like I say, a linear feature is anything that travels in a line. A road, a river, a brook, fence line, edge of a forestry. Yeah, there's loads of different things you can use it, like I say, as a handrail to guide you. So there's no water in the brook at the moment, but so I can walk up its path. If there was water in it, obviously I'd walk to one side. So we'll do that now till we get to the very top, and then it's just a hop, skip and a jump to the trig point. Away we go. So that was handrailing. Pretty straightforward, like I say, using linear features to guide you. to where you want to go. Crucial if the weather closes in and you lose visibility, or even if you're at night. Right, the sun's gone in a bit, so I put my smock on. So that's the first 3 tips done. Orientating your map to ground, your route planning, traffic light system, and you got your hand railing with linear features. I'm gonna have a bit of dinner now. Get the water on the boil and have a bit of dinner. Then we've got the last 2 top tips left. So stick around for that. Having Italian bolognese, so that's cooking. Downside is, I forgot my spoon. So I'm going to try and fashion one out of my Coke can using my knife. Where there's a will, there's a way. As long as you've got your knife. Yummy. Right, tip number 2. So tip 2 out of the 5 is time-ins. Now what do I mean by time-ins? Well, there's a thing called Naismith's rule, and that states that you should walk 1 kilometre in 12 to 15 minutes. If you're a good walker, it could be 12 minutes. Myself, I'm about 15. Used to be 12, obviously years ago. So that's on the flat ground. So steep ground like this, all you've got to do is add 1 minute to every contour line you go up or down. Now the contour lines on the map, they're well marked out. Just count how many you cross on your route, and each one will represent 1 minute of walking time. Add that to your overall distance, kilometres. That should give you a rough idea how long it's going to take you to get from A to B. So how do you measure a kilometre on the map, I you say? Now remember we talked about the blue grid lines on the map before? So from one line to the other, no matter if it's the east ends or the north ends, or the horizontal or the vertical lines, from one line to the other, it's 1 kilometre. On your map as well, you have a scale rule, usually at the bottom of the map. So you can use that to measure your distance. If it's a windy old road or track or stream, whatever you're following, you could use a piece of string and then transfer that string in onto the rule bar at the bottom of the map. Alternative, you can use a piece of reed grass or a piece of small twig, anything like that. Again, measure your distance with that and then transfer it onto the ruler at the bottom of the map. So yeah, there's a few different ways, or even if you've got a piece of paper and a pen, obviously you can mark it on that piece of paper, and if it's windy trail, you just move the paper as such and put a mark every time you move it, and then when you've done all that, transfer that paper then onto your scale rule at the bottom of the map, and it'll give you the distance. Now I've marked on the map here where I am on this junction, and I'm going to go from that point to that point, and you can see on this path it's more or less 1 kilometre. So that should take me 15 minutes. Now I just count the contours, 5, so that's an extra 5 minutes. So it should take me 20 minutes to get from point A to point B, approximately. So yeah, we'll time ourselves and we'll see how we get on with that. Right, let's go. Yeah, so I know some of you might say, oh, what about pacings? Yeah, pacings are good, and I've used them in the past. The only problem with the pacings is, say you've paced yourself out 100 metres on a nice level flat, park or football ground, football pitch, and you know you've done X amount of paces on that 100 metres. Well, that's going to change from terrain to terrain, isn't it? If you're walking uphill, downhill, across boggy ground, rocky ground, your patience are going to go all to whack. Yeah? Right, let's push on. Let's see what the time is. So we're about halfway, just over. Right, we're coming up to the road junction. I don't know if you can see that, if it's focusing or not. We've got 19 minutes. So yeah, we're spot on really for time. I did pick the pace up a little bit because I had to stop, do a little bit of filming. So as you can see, my next stress roll calculations with my timings worked out just about right. But don't get me wrong, patience are good as well. They got their place. I just find the timing's a bit more accurate and a bit more reliable. I have used patience before. I was up on Cadridris once, and the cloud come down and I couldn't see 20 yards in front of me. And I don't know if you've been up Cadridris, there's a sheer drop one side. So I was going along the top of it on the plateau, and then yeah, I used my pacings, my bearings, everything to make sure I didn't walk off the edge. So luckily for me, I didn't. So yeah, that's my number 2 tip done. Number 1 next. Right, tip number 1. The sun's come out just in time for it. So my top tip for navigating without a compass, but you're still using a map obviously, is marking off or ticking off. Now this is pretty straightforward. It's exactly as it's described. So if you're walking down any particular trail, path, road, anything you want, on that point from A to B, there's going to be physical reference points that you're going to pass on along the way. So they could be something like a stream you're going over, it might be a pond on your left or your right. There could be a block of forestry, there could be a road junction, junctions in the pathway, anything. And all it is ticking them off as you're getting past each one. As soon as you've gone past one, you tick it off either mentally, or you move your thumb down on the map, second one, third one, and so on, until you get to the end of your journey. Now if you get so far, and you haven't ticked one off, or the forest is on your right, not on the left and all that, and then you know you've gone wrong somewhere, and then you can go back and start again. Now this is very prevalent in forestry, as everywhere looks the same, just trees. So if you're walking down forestry tracks, so marking off or ticking off track junctions or clearings, that way you know you're on the right path. Or even again, if the weather encroaches and the poor visibility, you can't see much around you, all you can see was what's nearby. Again, you're ticking them things off as you're, say, going over a bridge, or you're passing like say something on the side of the track, anything physical like that. Okay, so that's marking off. So what we're going to do now is walk down this trail. I got a series of crossing points of different tracks and roads, and I'll mark them off as I'm going, and hopefully I'll get to the end. Right, let's have a go with it. Right, so I've ticked a few things off now on the trail. I've come to my fork in the road here. I'm looking on the map, I know the one shoots off that way, and the one I want carries on straight ahead. So I know I'm going in the right direction. I can physically tick this one off and carry on with my journey. Now as I'm walking down this path, I've already ticked off or marked off 2 crossing points, one with the footpath, one with the road. So I ticked them off, I mentally marked them off in my head, move my thumb down on the map, and then I'll tick off the next one as I get to it. Nice and simple. easy to do, but yeah, one of the most used navigation methods whenever I'm out on the trails. Well, that's it. I'm at the last checkpoint on that route, marking off point. This path, I try and shield this from the wind a bit. So yeah, this path here is off, and then this path I'm taking takes me all to the end. So that's it, guys, for marking off. Like I say, it's very simple, but if you use that with your timings, and you can guess how long it takes you to each mark off point and all that, yeah, you can't go far wrong. So I'm going to walk to the end. Hopefully the truck is still there. Now with these tips, guys, the best you can do is get a map of your local area and get out and practice them. Now I'm going to have another video in a few weeks' time, hopefully my top tips on navigating with a compass, which is slightly different, on bearings and all that sort of stuff, leapfrogging and attack points. So that's it, guys. Yeah, I'll walk to the end of this trail now and I'll meet you at the truck. So there we have it, guys. Here's my top 5 tips for navigating without a compass. So we had orientating your map, using features on the ground, route planning with the traffic light system. Then we had hand railing, using linear features to help you on your way. And then we had your timings, using Naismith's rule. Remember, 12 to 15 minutes per kilometre, and then 1 minute for every contour line you go up or down. And then the last one is ticking off or marking off, yeah, which I think is a very important one and easy to use, and yeah, it's a great aid to any navigation. I hope you find this information useful. Get in a local area, get a map out, and practice these skills. For any reason, if you're out in the field and the compass breaks or you lose it, or can't get your GPS or whatever you're using, at least you've got your wits and a map, and hopefully find your way home. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, guys, like I say, like and subscribe. Please leave any comments below, any of your tips, hints. I'll be glad to hear them all. And we'll catch you in the next video. All the best. Bye for now.